Gunther regains the World Heavyweight Championship. And we said surprised with Ron Killings. I'm surprised that Gunther's retaining and that we don't have a new champion in Seth Rollins. Instead, it's Gunther. Everybody seemed to have that one, quote, nailed down, and we all missed it.
Yeah, we did. And I was not expecting Gunther walking out as world champ. Right. I really don't know how I feel about it. I think match wise, this was the best match these two guys have had. Easily the best match these two guys
away, yes, 100%.
It was fantastic from start to finish. I'm always going to be happy when Gunther has a belt. That's just Gunther's my guy. I'm always going to be happy when Gunther has a belt.
He looks great with a belt. He does. He really does.
He does. I wish we'd got more out of Jay's run though. Like I really do. I feel like we were just kind of getting started with it.
I agree.
And it just abruptly came to an end. I kind of have a theory as to why that might have come to an end, which I'm sure we'll talk about here in a little bit. But I was waiting like the whole time when they were putting the sleeper on each other. I was waiting for that stomp to come from out of nowhere, stomping either Gunther or stomping Jay, and then we head into that cash in moment. I'm kind of glad we didn't get the cash in tonight, but it's definitely thrown a wrinkle into things having Gunther now be world champ and seeing where we go from here.
Bryce, I see your comment there. I will get to that because we are going to talk truth. I'll get to that. Aaron with a fun ad here. Is Jay the secret addition for King of the Ring?
It's a possibility.
It's very possible. Very possible. I will say this though, Andy, the stipulation for King of the Ring, and we're going to get into that either on tonight's episode or on Wednesdays. So make sure that you guys are tuned into the channel. If you're not up on what we're doing recently, we are dropping 2 episodes a week now, 2 brand new episodes. So make sure that you're tuned in. If he's not the addition, a couple of guys that you could think that it would be, but if he is the addition, Andy, I'll be honest, I don't want to see another match between these two guys. Like I'm done. Yeah. We saw the Saturday Night's Main Event, we saw WrestleMania, and now we saw tonight. I think tonight was a great bow to put on this. Where Jay goes from here, I don't know, but I don't want it. Jay can be in it if he's going to lose it. I don't want him to win and to run this back again.
Yeah, if Seth would have won the title tonight, if he'd have cashed in and won, then I would say Jey Uso could be in it, and I would want him to win to set up that for SummerSlam. Yes. Mm-hmm. But I kind of agree. I think, especially with how good the match was tonight, that was a perfect way to end, at least for now, this rivalry between Jay and Gunther. Again, though, I don't know where Jay goes from here. Obviously, he is the most popular guy on Monday Night Raw, and so he's going to have something to do. He has to have something to do. But I don't know what that is right off the top of my head, and that's kind of frustrating and a little makes me a little apprehensive about why they did what they did tonight. Is because hopefully they have something planned for him from here on out, and not just like, okay, you had your moment, you had your WrestleMania moment, you're popular, yeah, we get that, but now we're just going to kind of move on from you and keep going. So I don't know. Like, I really don't know what's next for Jay, but I agree with you. I think this was the best way to at least maybe not put a bow on the rivalry, but put a pin in it for a long time.
Yes.
Until we can revisit it at some point down the line.
Completely agree, because it's not nearly, with Jay not being champion, it's not nearly as captivating with Rollins having the briefcase, because it's not like he's going to sneak up on Gunther. It's way more interesting for him to sneak up on Jay. And I sort of thought we were headed towards Rollins and Jay for SummerSlam. If you're looking at, what is next for Jay. But Andy, you tweeted right before we came on about an idea you think is probably next for Gunther. Do share with the lovely listeners of Squared Circle Radio.
Yeah, I think as he won, the only thought that came into my mind was they did this just for Goldberg. Like Goldberg's retirement match at Saturday night's main event in Atlanta is going to be for that world title, and I can already picture it right now. I knock on wood, I don't think he wins it. I hope he doesn't win it. I pray he doesn't win it. I will do whatever it takes for him not to win it. But I do think we are heading to Gunther versus Goldberg for that world title one last time. Goldberg gets his opportunity. Maybe it's career versus title, something like that. I don't know.
Aaron says, please God, no.
I agree.
I think Andy's right. Because it seems that Goldberg only comes back when it's convenient to get a championship match, because why else would Goldberg come back? So I think you're right. It makes sense that it would be in Saturday night's main event, the weekend of the Evolution pay-per-view in Atlanta. I sort of thought SummerSlam. I don't know what you do with Gunther at SummerSlam again, unless we circle right back to what Aaron said in the chat. Jey wins King of the Ring, and we get another match between these two at SummerSlam. I'm not quite sure. It's very interesting, Andy. I'm with you. I'm going to circle back to what you said just a few minutes ago. I felt like we were just getting started with the Jey Uso championship run. He was actually starting to build some. Oh my. Aaron Grisham in the chat, breaking. Goldberg just injured Bret Hart again per sources. Yeah, and Bret Hart's already complaining about it. Like, it's just par for the course. All right.
To be fair, that's something that I would probably complain about a lot too if that ended my career.
That's true, but Bret Hart's just a natural complainer, so it's fine. Anyway, before we get too far into the weeds here, I don't remember what I was gonna say now. Jey Uso. What was I even talking about?
Goldberg,
Oh, look at you, Andy. Look at you. No, I had a point about Jey Uso, and I don't remember what it was now. Oh my gosh, I can't stand you. It's very interesting. Oh, I know where I was going. Yeah, it just seems like we're just getting started with Jey Uso's championship run. Like, Seth Rollins was the first real. I mean, yeah, Logan Paul, but Seth Rollins was the real first challenger that we could get invested in and be like, oh, I want Jey to beat this guy. I want Jey to beat this guy. And we saw the match on a one-off, and it was a DQ, and that was that. I mean, I know, Andy, we talked about we don't want to beat Rollins right now because Rollins is trying to build momentum with this group. Andy, I'm just curious, not to circle back to the Goldberg thing, but I'm just curious as to why this happened tonight. I'm let them cook, as they say, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know either, and it kind of puzzles me too, because I'm running through people on my list of like top contenders Jey could face as world champ, but every name I've come up with is like, oh no, they probably need to win too, so let's not put them against the world title.
Right.
Like AJ Styles versus Jey Uso. If you want to make Jey feel like a competitor, put him in there with AJ. AJ kind of needs a lot of wins right now to keep going.
Yes, he does.
Finn Balor is another one. Yeah, he could be in there with Jey Uso. Finn needs a lot of wins right now.
Yep.
So like there's names that he could go up against, but I feel like that's the theme of Monday Night Raw is you've got Seth and Punk and Jey and Gunther at the top, and then everybody else is like there, but they all need to get wins. So I don't know.
Do you think it's a situation where that's why they did it? It's because we really don't have a whole lot left for Jey as far as opponents go, but you could probably have more opponents for Gunther. For example, what just popped in my head, we're going to talk about it in just a minute. CM Punk versus Gunther at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
Kitty in the chat, thank you. Great match, but didn't want to see Jey lose the title. I think we're both with you. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think, we saw LA Knight show up on Raw tonight. Maybe he's making the move over to Monday night.
Yeah.
Gunther versus LA Knight. I think that's a possibility. I mean, listen, we don't know how quickly they're going to build up this Ron Killings character. You don't know what you're going to get from a guy like him. So who knows what they're building up to. Sami Zayn, like Sami Zayn versus Gunther. I could see Sami being a guy to take the title off of Gunther, finally getting that big win. So yeah, I think you're right. I think there's more opportunities. But I also think that's just partly because they haven't done a great job of building up heels to get wins,
right,
and to be credible threats to world titles.
For sure. Let's circle back now we'll just kind of see where it goes from here. I don't know. It'll be really interesting. Probably the immediate future is Goldberg, and then we'll see what happens at SummerSlam.